Listen, old lady. If you cut somebody's dick off, they deserve to have that shit cut off. You're not getting nowhere near me to do that. I'd run circles around you. Riders break into ICE hotel. Oh boy.
Bundle up, Buttercup. It's the winter of love. Get out!
The whistles are so annoying. Look at this guy.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame! The Resistance Orchestra came to town this weekend to make some noise. They targeted ICE hotels, broke windows, and stormed the lobby. They even chased down Border Patrol Chief Bavino into a Target.
Really?
If your wife is not part of too, you have to all you can't to me. You can't to me. Get the out of here. Get the out. Nobody wants you here. Right. Get the out. Walk the out, you stupid. If you didn't have a gun or a badge, I would beat the out of you.
It wasn't just ICE agents getting attacked. Conservative journalists got mobbed.
Yeah, I highly doubt if you didn't have a gun, you'd win in a fight. But hey, who knows? Maybe the guy knows how to fight. I don't know.
Get out of the way.
Oh, I seen this video already. He just boy just takes off. They violated his car though.
CNN got spared though.
It goes.
I wonder why.
2 or 3 blocks.
Who do you work
thank
for?
you.
Who do
Hold
you
on.
work
I'm
for?
sorry. We're with CNN. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry. I think people are getting upset.
Where were the cops?
Crazy.
Minneapolis Mayor Small Fry told police to stand down.
Mayor Small Fry. Yeah, like this is the thing. It's just like where these people are being what's that word? They're being radicalized, right? These people are being radicalized, and then in the process of that, when they do something as silly as like this, chase the police or get in the way of police, and police doesn't do anything, you know what that does? That gives them another level of justification, like, oh, we can do this. They are wrong because they're running away, when in all true reality, they're not right. And they're not running away because the protesters are right. They're running away because, fortunately for them, we don't live in a tyrannical system. Otherwise, this violence would be met, or this perceived violence would be met with more violence. They just talk mad shit though. I'm not gonna lie though.
Is Minneapolis PD surrendering to these people?
Right.
Did they just run away from a bunch of women with whistles? This is a bad sign. The Democrat base said they wanted to see blood, and they got it. And now they're turning Minneapolis into a battlefield. And the police are retreating. Red-headed potheads are ready for war.
Red-headed
Would rather be
potheads.
at home smoking weed.
Yes.
Yes.
But why can't you be smoking weed right now?
Because goddamn Nazis. Goddamn Nazis.
Yes. And how long do you plan to be out here?
Oh, we're actually headed back to the car.
Minnesota's not so nice to ICE.
Oh my god, Minnesota's not a real place, man. I'm convinced. Like I said the other day, you know where this is not happening? I'll let you guess. Red states. That's where it's not happening.
Grannies are outside begging for bullets to the face. Oh my God.
What do you think is happening in her mind to think like this, to be outside like this? I mean, you gotta, at some point in time, you gotta really believe that this is something that serious for you to act this way, because there's no other reason. I still don't comprendo. No comprendo, my friend. Yo no entiendo que se le metió a esta gente en la mente porque están loca todita. I basically just said, I don't understand what went in there, what's gotten into their head. They gotta be crazy. Doesn't make any sense.
These are suicidal missionaries. Moms are bringing babies to the front lines. and using
Crazy.
them as little human shields.
I love my community, I love my city, and I hate what's happening to it with people who frankly aren't from here coming in and telling us who should be here. And when it comes down to loving my neighbor, I'm just gonna love my neighbor.
Again, you notice the people who are fighting for this are all white women, and she has a kid with her, which again is just to me that's a ploy. Like, you bring your kid to a situation that you've seen has already gotten violent in other locations in the state. You bring your child. That's not that should be child endangerment, number one. And number two, it's not like, oh, I want to teach my kid something. Like, the kid doesn't realize what's going on. If it was an older child, anywhere from like 11 to, and older, okay, I can understand why you might want to bring your child, even though I don't agree with what they're doing. But like, you want to bring your kid to a protest, you want to show them, hey, this is the American way. We protest when we don't like something. Fine. I'm not even going to argue with that. But you're bringing a baby. And the only justification that I can see or that I can articulate is that you do that because you're using it as an excuse. So that way, if something does happen, you can be like, you attacked a mother, or you can use it as a ploy to keep doing whatever it is you're doing because you have a child and they don't want to get the negative press of a child being hurt in the process. When in all true reality, this is just silly. It's just a silly way of thinking to bring your child. You want to protest. You want to do all that. Again, I'm not against any of the protests. Like, shit, go ahead, protest. I don't have a problem with that. The things they're doing at the protests are usually the problem.
If a woman brings her baby to a dangerous ICE protest, should we call child services? What kind of mom brings an infant to a violent rally
Exactly
to keep
what I
illegal
just said.
alien child molesters in the neighborhood?
Right.
Not a good one.
Well, in all fairness, we don't know if there are child molesters in the neighborhood, unless they've already said that. But, and this is, again, I think this is where the Fox News sensationalizes certain news, just like CNN does. They both do it, and then you need people like me in the middle to be like, no, that's bullshit. You can't say it like that.
Check in to see how our favorite lesbian grandmother's doing.
Oh, my God.
So if the ICE agent who shot the woman and killed her in Minneapolis isn't responsible for what he did because another person ran over them 6 months ago, then just out of curiosity, I mean,
I don't
for
think that's a
example,
justification.
I was
but
raped
okay.
in the 80s. If I go
God.
to the gynecologist and
Oh my God.
he triggers me in some way, I just get to whip out a knife and cut off his.
Some of these women.
Listen, you made me snort. Listen, old lady. If you cut somebody's off, they deserve to have that shit cut off. You're not getting nowhere near me to do that. I'd run circles around you. No, but in all seriousness, like, what are we doing now? What is going on with these whataboutisms? It's sad that she went through that in the 80s. No one should go through that. That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to happen. But come on. Oh my God, I can't. This is not real life.
They're learning the lesson the hard way.
Their big gun telling me to get the out of here.
Oh yeah, you're in the middle of the street. Oh, good. Look at that.
And I think I'm more angry and frustrated by this than I am scared.
Yeah, you're not scared because there's no repercussions. And one other thing I want to point out too, you notice again, it's always white women. But this is starting to make me think that they're looking for a reason to be able to say, oh, I understand your plight as a black person. We're oppressed too. No, you're not. No, you're not. If a group of outside of BLM riots, right? But if a group of black people did what you guys were doing, I'm pretty sure it would not end well. This is just, this is so cringe. I can't believe this is going on. Like, we're on, like, God knows, what is it? The 12th day of, what is it? Today's the 13th. Holy shit. Today's the 13th day of the year. And this is how 2026 is going already? Oh, boy. It's going to be a long year.
I'm pissed that I have to back down because you have a gun. And that you will kill me. And that you will kill anybody that stands in your fascist way.
Good's death was a tragedy, but it was preventable. Democrats created the conditions for her death. And instead of telling women to stand down and not put their bodies on the line, Good and all of her ICE stalker cavalry are being hailed as heroes. And they're lying about her death to absolve her of any responsibility.
My goodness, she's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn. This looks like somebody that's trying to get out of there. If doing a 3-point turn or a 4-point turn is a domestic terrorist, then my wife is a criminal every single day.
Oh, watch how I spin his logic. First off, are you saying women can't drive? How dare you? That is disrespectful, okay? That is misogynistic, and that is horrible by you, Mr. Freed, whatever your name is. Oh, Frey, right? Jacob Frey, the mayor, right? You're a horrible person. That's such a misogynistic thought process, number one. But let's get a little serious, though. How does somebody like me, my setup might be, I don't know, maybe $2,000 setup? Well, technically it's probably a lot more because the camera's expensive. But let's just say I got a $3,000 to $5,000 setup, right? For what I'm doing here, right? And I found a 3-minute video before the shooting happened of Renee Good being obnoxious and blocking the road. Not to mention, I also found other videos of other folks who say she was very good at blocking ICE and she followed them around that day. So if I could find that, you would think that the mayor of a United States city, which has a budget in the millions, probably hundreds of millions at this point, would be able to find this information too. So that leads me to my next point, which and I'm sorry, but I got to say this, and I have a follower who we had a conversation the other day, told me about this word, but I just have to say it. So either Mr. Frey or Fry, whatever, Fry, whatever his name is, but regardless. So either he is naive or he's being fed bad information by the people around him. Yeah, I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I can't. You can't sit here and say these things and then think that people are just gonna eat it up. Well, they are eating it up, so I guess you can sit there and say that because obviously that's people believe them.
We don't need to listen to a mayor who let his city burn and calls ICE stalkers heroes.
Right.
Just like they lied about Floyd, they're lying about Good. Either way, Ilhan Omar wants people to pay.
We are going to make sure that these people pay for what they have done to us.
Oh, how are they going to pay?
Every single lesson we are learning
cash, card,
to make sure no community gets terrorized like we are being terrorized by Trump and his goonies ever again.
Omar doesn't want the Somalis to pay for stealing billions in welfare. She wants agents catching them to pay. See what we're dealing with here? It's kind of difficult to work with people who don't share anything in common. You don't even share the same basic values. We can't even agree on right and wrong. How do you fight crime and enforce the law when they don't even agree with the law? We're enforcing immigration law, and Omar, as we all know, doesn't respect immigration law, if you know what I mean. This little Minneapolis caliphate is surrendering the streets just like they did in 2020. And the mob has them by the huevos.
Walls, girls, and balls! Walls, girls, and balls! So to Jacob Fry, we say F you! You are not doing enough!
Look at him. Look at him. White lady. Behind the girl talking, white lady. The girl talking is a white lady. The sign language person is a white lady. This lady on the left is also a white lady. Everybody's a white lady.
Words are not enough! We need action now!
All right, tails wagging the dog. Walls, Fry, Omar, they're getting ordered around by ICE stalkers and vigilantes who want an eye for an eye. And the politicians are willing to let them die. Tampon's AG, Keith Ellison, kind of just declared a civil war.
The deployment of thousands of armed, mass DHS agents to Minnesota has done our state serious harm. This is, in essence, a federal invasion of the Twin Cities and Minnesota, and it must stop.
Minnesota is finally admitting there's an invasion, not by illegals, by the government rounding them up. America is being invaded by America. Biden let 10 million illegals in. Minnesota didn't sue. But now they're suing Trump for kicking them out. Here's who ICE
Crazy.
just caught last week. A Laotian illegal convicted of strong-armed sodomy on a little boy and girl.
Damn.
Another Laotian illegal convicted of child rape and strangulation. A Somali illegal convicted of homicide. A Mexican national convicted of homicide. I mean, we could go on and on. These criminals were just roaming around Minneapolis because Minnesota lets them. It's a sanctuary. ICE picked up hundreds of bad hombres like that. These are the people who Mrs. Good and other ICE stalkers are putting their lives on the line for. These are who Democrats are suing Trump to keep in the country. They're driving across state lines to protect rapists and murderers.
I'm out here right now because this business put out a call for people to stand on this corner to watch the business for them. They've been really worried about reopening. They were shut down for the past 5 days after ICE was here, and they just aren't comfortable just doing this on their own.
Criminal illegal aliens are safer in Minneapolis than ICE agents. There have been over 20 assaults on federal officers in just 3 days in Minnesota. That's like a January 6th for 3 straight days. And Democrats in the media aren't saying stop. They're into it.
That's crazy.
I'm wondering if you're not doing.
They're only gonna fight for the things that meet their narrative. That's the thing. It's just like you would think that people would have the common sense to be like, all right, well, this is not okay. The way we're going about it, or the way some of these folks are going about it, is not okay. But instead, that's not what's happening, right? Because it fits their narrative of, you know, Trump bad. Trump has sent out all these agents to arrest everyday people who aren't even committing crimes. It's like we have to operate from a baseline. And I learned this from one of my mentors. Like when you're dealing with somebody, especially business or just, you know, in life in general, you don't know somebody, there has to be a baseline that you have to build on the person, right? And the baseline always has to be like, okay, for example, right, if I'm having a business dealing with somebody and I'm trying to formulate a baseline, I'm going to try to ask them about their operating mechanics. I'm going to try to ask them about their opinions on just simple basic thought processes to be like, all right, well, this person's somebody who is an aggressive business leader, or this person is somebody who is more laid back, more relaxed, right? Once I form this baseline, then I know how to approach the person. I know what to say to them, or how I should bring up an idea to them. With really anybody who's defending this is that they don't have a baseline, right? They are mad at J6ers, but then they're not mad at people attacking ICE agents, right? ICE agents are federal officers, right? They're mad at what Trump is doing, but they were never mad at the things Biden did. You can see negatives in both sides, regardless of what side you're leaning towards, right? You know, because a lot of people would consider me somebody who's right-leaning, which I really don't care, because I don't think I'm right-leaning. I would be in the middle. There's just some topics that are, you know, that I attack that might be more of right-leaning, but someone like me, I can call out the bullshit. Like I've said it before with the January 6ers.
Doing a disservice to the officer by reaching a conclusion before the investigation takes place.
I haven't heard you say once what a disservice it's done for Mayor Fry to get up and to tell ICE to get the F out of his city, and AOC to stand up before she had any of the facts and call this officer a murderer.
She's punching back.
Well, call them out, Jake.
Right.
In Portland, agents got rammed by the Tren de Agua, Bonnie and Clyde in a Hyundai.
Oh, this is another story where it's like I came across this, and you notice nobody's talking about it, and the people who are talking about it were talking about it from a perspective of something that never happened. Like it never happened, and I don't get it. It's really that it's easy. Just go do a quick Google search. You'll find out what these two were trying to do.
And the police chief there is crying, not for the guys in uniform, for the immigrants.
Yeah, that was a crazy
I want to
press
speak
conference.
for just a moment specifically to my Latino community. It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks.
Can you believe a police chief's crying?
Right. Not just that, but like it's insulting, right? As somebody who I'm Latino, yo hablo español. I grew up in a Hispanic home. I learned Spanish before I learned English. I learned English in school. Okay. As somebody who grew up in this community, the fact that I'm so sorry, I want to quantify, like, first and foremost, we don't fucking agree with gangbangers. I don't care if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian. I don't care what you are, bro. So for you saying, oh, I'm sorry that I need to qualify. No, you don't. You're qualifying that because you have this narrative in your head that, oh no, if I don't say this, then people are going to think that all Spanish people are bad. No, that's my bad. Let me chill. That's a stupid way to think. That's a way that goes to show you where your thought process are. It doesn't speak about me or my community or any other community, regardless of who you're addressing it to. It speaks about you and your thought process, and the fact that you, and a lot of white people, I should say at this point, think, oh my God, they're gonna think we believe this about all of them. No, because they're good white people, they're bad white people. They're good Spanish people, they're bad Spanish people. It's really that simple.
No wonder Portland's a mess. Women walk all over this guy. Trantifa, Tren de la Agua.
Trantifa is
The police
crazy.
chief is sobbing in public. Remember how Antifa
my
attacked
God.
ICE headquarters for 3 straight months right under that same chief's nose? While the media said there's no such thing as Antifa?
Right.
Well, now there is. Look at this headline in The Nation. Liberals think Antifa isn't real, but it is. And it knows how to win. To protect us all from the violence of the Trump administration, we must defend Antifa.
That's
So they're
crazy
choosing
statement.
sides. They're with Antifa, MS-13, and Somali fraudsters. And they finally found something they want to doge. Homan.
The actions of ICE, they are unconstitutional, unlawful. They are cruel. They are rogue. They are racist. And they are terrorizing communities. This harm does not discriminate. It is coming for everyone. And that is exactly why ICE must be stopped.
No, it's not. It's not coming for everyone. Again, another over-the-top thought process. It's not. Because if it was coming for everybody, you would be the first one on that list because of the things you're talking about.
The ladies are lining up.
Abolish ICE now, when that was a lefty thing before. Everyone's saying abolish ICE. You should never say that. You should never say that. I think people, red states, blue states, these are the United States of America, and people don't want to see murder in the killing in the street.
All right, you see what's going on here? The resistance is being run by women
Ridiculous.
and men who cry. Walls, Fry, the Chief, all criers. Then ICE moms, the Squad, and the View, tip of the spear. They want a civil war, maybe because they have daddy issues. Trump, not caving.
They were harassing, they were following for days and for hours. And I think, frankly, they're professional agitators. And I'd like to find out, and we are going to find out who's paying for it, with their brand new signs and all the different things. But these are professional agitators, and law enforcement should not be in a position where they have to put up with this stuff.
Democrats are sacrificing their own women for political power, while Trump's just enforcing the laws that Congress passed. Democrats are siding with cartels, dictators, terrorists, fraudsters, thieves, and now they're goading Trump to treat them like the enemy because they've sided with the enemy. So they can say, see, I told you he's a tyrant. I'm being oppressed. These people set a trap for a talking point, but it's now 2026 and no one cares.
It's only going to get worse. They're going to push harder. They're going to be more aggressive, and eventually something's going to happen. And I hope folks are ready for that, because it's getting to the point where the only thing left for there to happen is something worse than what happened to Renee Good. And the only way it gets worse, and it's like, and I'm gonna tell you this right here, right now, I think ICE gets in a shootout. People start shooting at them. They shoot back, and then you have a good old shootout.